Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey Thee alone and live according to truth. परमोच प्रभु सत्यम नित्यत्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तामहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओम शांति शांति शांति. Namaste, good morning, Vande Mataram, welcome all of you. So the topic of this morning's spiritual discussion will be on oneness and separateness. Very interesting topic. In this brief discussion, we will see a couple of interesting terms and the most applicable terms. Very interestingly, we will see what is oneness and what is separateness. So, when actually we know when there is a term oneness, there is naturally there is a distinction, separateness will be there. But how shall we feel that oneness and this separateness? And with, of course, in this topic we will see another couple of terms like unity, oneness, one, separateness, like couple of terms we will see and discuss here. So this morning's spiritual discussion will be on oneness and separateness. Everything will be, of course, discussed in the light of Sri Aurobindo's writings. So first we will see very interesting thing, that is one. Then will come for this oneness, then unity, and at last we will see separateness. Sri Aurobindo quotes as one, fundamentally we will see one. All fundamental principles of existence are essentially in the end one. Very interesting thing. All fundamental principles of existence, principles of existence, and fundamental principle of existence, all fundamental principles of existence are in the end one. So this is the one from which we have come, and the principle is one, fundamental principle is one, and we are approaching from separateness to this oneness. Possession in oneness and not loss in oneness is the secret. What is the secret of our existence, secret of our living, secret of our this journey? Possession in oneness and not loss in oneness, that is the secret. The next principles here in the course here, we are in our life and being not only ourselves but all others. This I think it is a unique observation observed by Sri Aurobindo. We are in our life and being. We are in our life and being not only in ourselves but all others. This fourth dimension of aesthetic sense, we are all is in ourselves in all. It is very tactical and technical definition defined by Sri Aurobindo initially. So we are in our life and being not only ourselves but in all others. So there is only one soul and one existence. Sri Aurobindo very interestingly, very strongly defines. There is only one soul and one existence. Therefore, we all see the objectivity only. We all see the objectivity only because there is only one soul and one existence. Finally, we'll see a couple of beautiful lines. The depths are linked to the heights. This is the bridge that is bridged up. This gap was there, it is bridged up. The depths are linked with the heights, and the law of the one truth creates and works everywhere. Not only in a single confined place or in a single somebody's monotony, nothing like this. The depths are linked to the heights, and the law of the one truth. The law of the one truth creates and works everywhere. So finally, we must hate none, despise none, but be repelled by none. This is the unity. When there is unity, the God in me and God in you. Everywhere the God is out the world is God fulfilled in outwardness. So where is the chance for separateness? Because only where there is no unity, there is separateness, not the just opposite. We must hate none, despise none, be repelled by none, for in all we have to see the one disguised or manifested as His pleasure. So this is the thing, we must take unity, and unity is a must. So second, the next, very interestingly, we'll take the very next one actually, this thing. That is unity. The second principle we are focusing upon the unity. A couple of examples will take as example by Sri Aurobindo. Even unity exclusively pursued ceases to be the true one, yet to oneness. Even unity exclusively pursued, the condition is that even unity, comma, yes, if exclusively pursued ceases to be a true oneness. So it is not confined, it is not exclusive, it is universal, it is separate, not separative. It is actually, it has got a wide and a big flow. All unity between creatures is in its essence is a self-finding. Very interesting. This is the, because the topic we are going to discuss is on oneness and separateness. So the very distinctive line, very distinctive definition is here. The clarifying definition is there here. All unity between creatures, all unity between creatures is in its essence a self-finding, finding the self. So naturally that song I can remember in Hindi. This is the तेरा हाथों ने छुआ मेरा हाथ तूने मुझे कहाँ छुआ. Your hands has touched me and I got but how the unity is there? Only the outward external touch is there, inside nothing has been done. That example also we have seen, that the key opened the lock, but actually that hammer could not break it. After this opening of this key, lock by key, the hammer is asking how you could be able to, within a soft touch you could be able to open it, but I hammered on and on and on, but could not be able to neither to break it nor to open it. Then key touches, I got in deep inside, I just touched the heart, then I just tilted and everything is done. But what you are then externally, you are hammering, this process is going on. So where is the principle? What is the secret? This is the secret. Go inside and touch the center and big a little bit, so that this, with this inwardness, with this inward touch, the thing, your problem will be solved. Then the true unity is spiritual. True, really, it's a great thing. The true unity is spiritual. Its sacrifice is a mutual self-giving. Not in unity direction, but it is a reversible direction. Mutual self-giving. Its sacrifice is a mutual self-giving. An interfusion of our inner substance. So everything, wherever you go, whatever you see, everything is concerned with this inner substance. Then next, after this thing, we'll see the very next thing is, before going to the topic on unity and separateness, very interesting topic. Diversity is unity and diversity. Diversity is necessary as unity to our true completeness. For our true completeness, diversity is equally required as the unity. Both are required in our own progress towards true completeness. The real aim of nature. The real aim of nature is the true unity supporting the rich diversity. So both are going simultaneously in one direction. So again we will go into the few lines as quoted by Sri Aurobindo. So that oneness and separateness. Oneness we have known that the sea, river pours into the mighty sea, gets mingled, its separateness is gone. Then soul, when it meets the supreme soul, that is that unity is created, that separateness is gone. Then finity, when it mingles with the infinity, that is gone. So that separative concept, the concept of separation is gone, that oneness is established. So we'll see here very interesting definitions, very few lines we'll see some from Savitri, of course. The unseen was felt and jostled visible shapes. Clearly, Sri Aurobindo covers, clears here. And the unseen was felt and jostled visible shapes. In the communion of two meeting minds, unity, meeting minds, communion, the word is used. In the communion of two meeting minds, thought looked at thought and had no need of speech. Thought looked at thought and had no need of speech. We have seen. Initially, there is the need of speech. You are expressing, you are speaking someone, there is a need of speech. But afterwards, you see that for this communication, for this linkage, for this union, no word, no, nothing is necessary. Sometimes this gesture is also necessary. It is more than enough, as we have seen. Of course, in lover and beloved, when they turn from friendship, that lover and beloved, then next step is your husband and wife. Then everything, the gesture works. There is no need of words, even speech. Emotion clasped emotion into hearts. Emotion clasped emotion. This is the about the unity Sri Aurobindo quotes of. Of course, it is not the final unity. Little bit later towards the end, we'll see when we are considering the separateness. Emotion clasped emotion into hearts. They felt in each other's thrill in the flesh and the nerves, or melted each in each and grew immense. This is they felt in each other's thrill in flesh and nerves, emotion clasped emotion. That thrill is of course felt in flesh and nerves, or melted each in each and grew immense. There was a melting, that no hardship, no originality. They and melted in each in each and grew immense. Then very good image, good comparison there. Beautiful image is imaged by Sri Aurobindo. As when two houses burn and fire joins fire. There is no distinctiveness, no separateness, no separation. There is unity. As when two houses burn and fire joins fire. Hate grappled hate and love broke in and love. The very interesting terms used. Hate grappled with hate. Love broken. Hate grapples and love broken in love. Will wrestled with will. How the interesting words have been very the jingling of words. How the Sri Aurobindo has joined very interestingly. Will wrestled with will on mind's invisible ground, other sensation passing through like waves. Comparison, beautiful image, beautiful comparison. Left quivering the subtle body's frame, their anger rushed galloping in brute attack. Their anger rushed galloping in brute attack, a charge of trampling hoofs on second soil. One felt another's grief invade the breast. Just imagine. Another's grief one feels. One felt another's grief invade his breast. Another's joy exulting ran through the blood. Joy running through, exulting ran through the blood. Another's grief invade the breast. Hearts could draw close through distance. Though distance were there, through this distance, heart drew close. And voices near that spoke upon the shore of alien sea. Even if it is far, it could be felt. There beat a throb of living interchange, being felt, being even when far, and consciousness replied to consciousness, and as the ultimate pet oneness was not there. In spite of all, consciousness replied to consciousness, being felt, being even when afar, throbbing of heart, everything, in spite of everything, there the quotes, ultimate oneness was not there. There was the next term, there was a separateness. That's what we are going to discussing now. There was a one separateness from soul to soul. An inner wall of silence could be built. It could not be achieved, it could not be seen outwardly, but inner wall of silence could be built. An armor of conscious might to protect and shield. The being could be closed in and solitary. Till that, in spite of all this unity and this oneness, there was felt the symptom of the separateness clearly, an inner wall. So an inner wall of silence could be built, an armor of conscious might protect and shield. The being could be closed in and solitary. That solitariness, that closeness was there, not there. It remained apart in self alone. One could remain apart in self and alone. Identity was not it, no identity, nor union's peace. All was imperfect, still half known, half done. In spite of all this unity, unification, oneness, still there was a half known, half done, that imperfect oneness, and it is union's peace was not there. Sri finally quotes, the miracle of the inconscience overpast, the miracle of the superconscient still, unknown, self-wrapped, unfelt, unknowable, looked down on them, origin of all they were. As forms they came of the formless infinity, as names lived of a nameless eternity, the beginning and the end could there be occurred. So there was still separateness, no ultimate unity.